Jerry Seinfeld, a name that has become synonymous with comedy and laughter. The name itself conjures up laughter, bringing to mind countless moments of joy and amusement. He's not just a comedian, he's an actor, writer, and producer. His multifaceted talent has made him a household name. His show Seinfeld is a cultural phenomenon that has left an indelible mark on television history. It's a show about nothing, yet it resonates with everyone. The mundane, everyday situations it portrays are universally relatable. Seinfeld's journey to success is nothing short of inspiring. He started with a simple dream: to make people laugh. In the early days, he performed in small clubs, honing his craft and perfecting his timing. Every joke, every punchline was a step towards his dream. Through hard work, dedication, and a refusal to give up, he achieved his goals. He spent countless hours writing, rehearsing, and performing. His efforts paid off, and he became one of the most successful comedians of all time, receiving numerous awards and accolades. Seinfeld's story is a testament to the power of perseverance. He faced many challenges along the way, but he never let them deter him. It's a reminder that even the biggest dreams can come true if you are willing to work hard and stay committed. You just have to be willing to put in the work. Never give up, no matter how tough the journey may seem. In interviews, Jerry often reflects on his early career, sharing stories of his struggles and triumphs. He talks about the nights he performed to nearly empty rooms and the times he doubted himself. The comedy scene in the 1980s was a tough place, but it was also a breeding ground for talent. Jerry was part of a wave of comedians who would go on to shape the future of comedy. Jerry's meticulous approach to comedy set him apart. He would spend hours writing and rewriting jokes, always striving for perfection. When Seinfeld the show came along, it was a game changer. The behind-the-scenes work was intense, but it paid off in a big way. The chemistry between the cast members was electric. Each episode was a collaborative effort, with everyone bringing their best to the table. The show gave us iconic moments that are still quoted and referenced today. From "No Soup for You" to "Yada Yada Yada," Seinfeld's impact on pop culture is undeniable. Fans around the world continue to celebrate the show, dressing up as their favorite characters and attending conventions. Even after the show ended, Jerry continued to perform stand-up, returning to his roots and reminding us why he became a comedy legend in the first place. His web series, Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, showcases his love for comedy and his ability to connect with other comedians. In the series, Jerry drives around in classic cars, having candid conversations with fellow comedians. It's a testament to his enduring passion for the craft. Jerry Seinfeld's legacy is one of laughter, hard work, and perseverance. He has shown us that with dedication and a love for what you do, anything is possible. His story is a beacon of hope for aspiring comedians and anyone with a dream. It's a reminder that success is within reach if you are willing to chase it. So here's to Jerry Seinfeld, a comedic icon who has brought joy to millions and continues to inspire us all. From his early days in comedy clubs to his groundbreaking TV show and beyond, Jerry's journey is a testament to the power of laughter and the human spirit. Thank you, Jerry, for all the laughs and for showing us that dreams really can come true. Jerry Seinfeld was born in Brooklyn, New York on April 29, 1954. From a young age, Jerry was surrounded by a loving family that nurtured his curiosity and creativity. His parents, Calman and Betty Seinfeld, played a significant role in shaping his early years. He grew up in Massapequa, Long Island, a suburban area that provided a stark contrast to the bustling streets of Brooklyn. The quiet, tree-lined streets of Massapequa became the backdrop of Jerry's formative years, where he would spend countless hours exploring and observing his surroundings. His father, Calman Seinfeld, was a sign maker. Calman's workshop was a place of creativity and craftsmanship, filled with the smell of paint and the sound of tools. Jerry often watched his father work, fascinated by the process of turning raw materials into beautiful signs. This environment instilled in him an appreciation for hard work and attention to detail. His mother, Betty Seinfeld, was a homemaker. Betty's role in the household was pivotal. She managed the home with grace and efficiency, ensuring that Jerry and his sister Carolyn had a stable and nurturing environment. Her cooking, warmth, and unwavering support were the cornerstones of Jerry's childhood. Seinfeld was a curious child. He had an insatiable curiosity about the world around him, always asking questions and seeking to understand how things worked. This curiosity extended beyond the physical world to the people he encountered, as he was deeply interested in human behavior and interactions. he was always observing the world around him. Whether it was at the park, in school, or at family gatherings, Jerry had a keen eye for detail. He would watch people's mannerisms, listen to their conversations, and take mental notes of the quirks and idiosyncrasies that made each person unique. He noticed the absurdities of everyday life, the small, often overlooked moments that others might find mundane or insignificant were a source of endless fascination for Jerry. He found humor in the ordinary, seeing the world through a lens that highlighted the ridiculousness of daily routines and social norms. This would later become a hallmark of his comedy. Jerry's ability to find humor in the mundane set him apart from other comedians. His observational style resonated with audiences because it was relatable. He was able to articulate the funny side of everyday experiences that everyone could recognize. He was influenced by comedians like Bill Cosby and Bob Newhart. These legendary performers were masters of observational humor, and their work had a profound impact on Jerry. He admired their ability to turn simple observations into hilarious routines, and he studied their performances meticulously. They showed him the power of observational humor. Through their performances, Jerry learned that comedy didn't have to rely on elaborate setups or punchlines. Instead, it could be drawn from the everyday experiences that everyone shares. This realization was a turning point for Jerry, as it gave him a clear direction for his own comedic style. He realized that comedy could be found in the mundane. This epiphany became the foundation of his career. Jerry began to hone his skills, practicing his routines and refining his observations. He understood that the key to great comedy was not just in the joke itself, but in the way it was delivered and the connection it made with the audience. This understanding would eventually lead him to become one of the most iconic comedians of his generation. Seinfeld's first taste of stand-up came in college. It was a small, dimly lit room filled with fellow students, some of whom were his friends, others complete strangers. The air was thick with anticipation and the smell of cheap beer. Jerry, a young man with a dream, took the stage with a mix of nerves and excitement. He had always been the funny guy in his group, but this was different. This was a real audience, and he was about to find out if he had what it took to make them laugh. He performed at open mics in New York City. The city that never sleeps was the perfect backdrop for his burgeoning comedy career. Each night, he would find a new club, a new audience, and a new opportunity to test his material. The open mic scene was a melting pot of talent, with comedians from all walks of life sharing the stage. Some nights were tough, with hecklers and indifferent crowds, but Jerry was hooked. The thrill of performing, the challenge of winning over a room, and the camaraderie among comedians kept him coming back for more. He loved the feeling of making people laugh. The sound of laughter was like music to his ears, a validation of his talent and hard work. He started performing regularly, hitting multiple clubs in a single night, always looking for that next laugh. He honed his craft, learning from each performance, tweaking his jokes, and refining his delivery. The stage became his second home, a place where he could be himself and share his unique perspective with the world. He developed his unique style of observational comedy. Unlike many of his peers who relied on shock value or political commentary, Jerry found humor in the everyday. He had a knack for noticing the little things that others overlooked, and his ability to turn mundane experiences into comedic gold set him apart. His style was clean, clever, and relatable, making him a favorite among audiences of all ages. He talked about everyday things. From the quirks of human behavior to the absurdities of modern life, nothing was off limits. He found humor in the mundane, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. His jokes were like little observations on life, delivered with a wit and charm that made people see the world in a new light. He found humor in the mundane. His act was relatable. People saw themselves in his jokes, and that connection made his comedy all the more powerful. Whether he was talking about the frustrations of waiting in line, the oddities of relationships, or the peculiarities of everyday objects, his humor resonated with audiences. They laughed because they understood, because they had lived those experiences too. Audiences connected with his observations. They appreciated his ability to find humor in the little things, to make them laugh at the familiar. His comedy was a mirror, reflecting the absurdity of life in a way that was both entertaining and thought-provoking. The more he performed, the more he realized that his true gift was not just making people laugh, but making them see the world through his eyes. He was on his way to making a name for himself. The open mic nights, The countless hours of writing and rehearsing, the highs and lows of performing, it was all paying off. Jerry Seinfeld was becoming a household name, a comedian whose unique style and relatable humor would leave a lasting impact on the world of comedy. His journey was just beginning, but the hunger for stage time, the drive to make people laugh, would always be at the heart of his success. Seinfeld's big break came in 1981. He appeared on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. His set was a hit. Carson was impressed. He invited Seinfeld to sit on the couch. This was a huge honor for a young comedian. The Tonight Show appearance changed everything. Seinfeld became a national name. He was in high demand, he was performing on talk shows, he was selling out comedy clubs. He had arrived.